Years passed, and those who had once raised the first stone of Solara now walked with slower steps. Alia had silver in her hair, Tomas leaned more heavily on his staff, and the council's meetings were quieter, filled with memory and humility. They had become elders, not rulers, and that was how they wanted it. But Solara was no longer just a village. It was a symbol, whispered in cities, sung about in fields, painted in murals. A place where cooperation was power, where women and men shared burdens, where admiration grew not from pride, but from purpose. And now their children had grown up inside it. They had never known war. They had never known thirst. They had never known being silenced. But they had questions. One in particular stood often in the square, staring at the statue of the first well. His name was Nico, son of Mira, a quick thinker with a sharp tongue and an unshakable curiosity. "We always speak of unity," he said one day during a town debate. "But what about difference?" The square quieted. "We speak of fairness, but not of ambition, of sharing but not of speed. Some of us want more. Not for greed, but for growth." The elders listened. They were not afraid. Not of challenge. They had once been the challenge. So they answered with an invitation. Build something new. And so Nico did, with Alia, Tomas's granddaughter, a builder and musician, with Leaf, a quiet engineer who preferred wood to words, and Kira, a girl from the Far East who had once come to Solara with nothing but a sketchbook and fire in her eyes. They called themselves the Circle of Flame, not to burn but to light, not to reject Solara's values but to test them. Instead of gathering in councils, they held walking debates. Instead of sending help to villages, they invited villages to design help themselves. They used story, art, music, invention, to carry the spirit of Solara, not just its structure. Some elders feared they were moving too fast. But Alia, now seated beneath a tree she had once planted, simply smiled. Let them. We planted roots. Now they carry seeds. And soon Solara was not one village, or even many villages. It was a living idea, carried by hands that had never touched the first stone, yet moved with the same fire. Nico's group did not replace the path of hands. They expanded it. They added color, rhythm, and invention. They reached places that didn't need help. Only connection. They created a network of living knowledge, shared freely. A flame library. Not made of books but of people and skills. And when Alia passed, they buried her beneath the first schoolhouse, and planted a second tree. This one her grandchildren watered. On its trunk someone carved, "May we always build with bold hands, brave hearts and open minds."